So you'll hold the water bowl in your hands, and then you'll say, Spirit of the water, hi everyone. So I have decided to start a channel to share my healing practices. And I've been on my healing journey for quite a few years now, since 2019. And it's pretty much been a full-on job for most of it. And so now it feels like it's time to share some of these practices that I've learned. Because if they benefit me, and they have, then I feel like it would be a good idea to share them so that other people can benefit from them as well. Now I realize that these practices have probably been shared online before, but you don't get to see everything that is online. Sometimes the YouTube algorithm is pretty mysterious. And so I figure if some people don't see those other amazing practices, maybe they'll catch one that I share, and I will mention where I got this practice from, as long as I remember where I got it from. And then you can follow that little breadcrumb trail to wherever you need to go on your journey. And so that's my intention. My intention is to share these healing practices so that you can implement them immediately, or follow the trail to get more information so that you can implement them in a different way that you feel might be more suitable. Because when I share these practices, they usually will come with my spin, the way I use them that works for me. So if you go back to the original source, you will get a different practice, not completely different, of course, but it will be slightly different. So I do recommend checking out the original source, because that's where the inspiration came from. So yeah. And if you implement them, it's from what I have experienced. I mean, I'm only going to share the practices that have really had a massive impact on me, with me, and in my journey. And so I feel if you implement them as well, then there's a high chance that it'll also have a beneficial impact with you on your journey, in your life. Okay, so the first practice I'd like to share is a water healing. And this practice I have picked up from two sources, actually three sources. So I've been on this journey for a while. And I will say that the first time I heard about water healing is from Teal Swan. And she said that if you send loving energy into a glass of water, and then you drink that glass of water, it will have a healing effect on you. She called it like a Trojan horse sort of healing, because you send the love first into the water glass, and then you ingest it. And that is if you don't feel like you can send yourself love directly, right? If you have trouble looking in the mirror and saying, I love you, then this would be a really good practice to take a glass of water, any water, any glass, it doesn't matter. And you hold it in your two hands. I have a mug. You can also use a mug. That's absolutely fine. Okay, and once you have your mug or glass, you will put some water in it. And like I said, it can be any water whatsoever, whatever water you have. And I happen to have some bubbly water, because I like bubbly water. So that's what I have. Sometimes I've got spring water from the nearby spring as well, but on this occasion, let's use bubbly water because we can. All right, so I'll just add a little bit of water into the glass and close the bottle so the bubbles don't escape. And then once you have your water in your mug, put your hands around it, and you just have the intention of love. You think about anything that you feel affection for, love for, and you just visualize yourself sending that love into your mug. It's so simple, and you can do this for any length amount of time, whatever. It's I would recommend 5 minutes. Start off with 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It's totally up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with at this moment in time. And it could be different tomorrow. It could be different the day after. It's totally fine. So that would be the first practice. You send loving intentions. You bring up the feeling of love. Anything that brings that good feeling, that beautiful, warm, fuzzy feeling into your heart. And then you just send it into a glass. You look into the water, into the glass, and you just send in love. You could even spell it out, Love. And you could see those letters in the water if you're a visual person. If not, then you can attempt. It's always worth trying. Or you could just send the feelings in. That's totally fine. And then all you do is you drink the water. And sometimes you might find that the water tastes a little bit different than if you didn't do that practice. So that'll be interesting just to notice. Just to notice. So that was the first practice, and that's from Teal Swan. And then the second practice, which is very famous, it's from Dr. Emoto, and he was a scientist in Japan. And he did many scientific experiences on different types of water, and not only different types of water, but also water with different intentions being sent into them. So it's very similar to the one that I just mentioned, but he had transparent glasses with water, and then he made labels with either love or gratitude or hate or disdain, just all different types of emotions, energies written on labels, and then he stuck them on different glasses. And then he just left those glasses for a while, I think a couple of weeks. So you can look into the research he did, Dr. Emoto, Water Experiment, Japan. You'll find his stuff. And then he left it for a while, and then you could see, the water with the word love label on it, or gratitude, was pristine a few weeks later, and then the one with hate or disdain was not. It was putrid, right? So you could see, there's that water you probably did not want to drink. It's like, And so these were his experiments, and one of the most famous experiments is when he took water from a beautiful spring somewhere in the world. I can't remember exactly where. It was high up. Anyway. And he put it on a slide or a Petri dish, and then he froze it in the freezer. And then as he was looking at it under a microscope, it had the most beautiful crystals. And that was interesting because those crystals were so beautiful, and he could replicate similar beautiful crystals with playing amazing classical music to the water. But then when he played different type of music, I think it was, music that might have had angry lyrics or something like that, or just angry music that's out there, then the water did not have these beautiful crystals. So then it just looked like chaos, and it didn't look good at all. So you could really see how the water absorbed these energies, the beautiful loving energies, and it showed these beautiful crystals, or angry music or hateful words, and it was definitely something you could see a massive difference between the two. So those were his experiments, and I think that just substantiates what Teal was talking about. When you send love into water and then consume it, you are consuming love. And even now speaking about it, I can feel that emotion. And it's beautiful, of course. It's actually bringing up a little bit of tears. So love is just very powerful, very powerful. And of course, we're made up out of, 80% of water? So you really want to be aware of water and what sort of impact it has on you. So when you work with energies and emotions, love versus hate or fear, love versus fear, then you can see a difference in how you feel. So, and then the third The third is actually the most interesting one. Well, I guess they're all interesting, but for me, it's the most recent one that I've learned about. And that is actually where you get to absorb negative energies out of you. You might have, accumulated some negative stuff when you just go about your life, maybe there's some stress there or some anger there. It doesn't really matter. So if you want to remove those negative energies out of you, out of the water that is in your body, what you do is you take a bowl. This is a bowl. And what the next step is you take some water. Any water is fine. You can use tap water. I just have bottled water here with me today. And then you add a little bit of water into the bowl. Oh, and I should say where I found this practice. I found it from Shaman Durek, and I highly recommend you go and check him out. He's got lots of stuff on YouTube, and he's amazing. So, Shaman Durek, just so you get that name right, you have to go and check him out. Okay, so you've got your water in your bowl. And now, if you want to do a room cleaning, and I know I just mentioned removing negative energies out of your body, but you can also remove negative energies out of your room. So you can do both. And I'll go through removing negative energies out of your body first. Okay, so what you want to do is you hold this bowl and you're going to activate the water spirits, the water energy, okay? And you can do that with a symbol, and let me demonstrate the symbol. So whilst you're holding the bowl, you make a symbol of a circle, and then you do a lightning bolt down to the bottom of the circle, and then you swish it up, straight line up, okay? And when you do the symbol over your water bowl, you want to make it with a sound or with breath to give it even more energy, to activate it. And you also want to visualize a color. So this is how you really activate this symbol and these energies. Okay, so you make a circle and you can visualize it either a bright golden color, a very turquoise aqua color, or a white color, I believe it is. I'm sure on the aqua blue and the golden light, but I'm not sure on the third color. So and I'm not sure because I use aqua blue. That's my choice of color. So I didn't really pay attention to the rest that much. So visualize aqua blue if you feel so inclined whilst you make the circle. And it could be this glowing neon aqua blue, something really vivid and, powerful. So you visualize this aqua blue color, and you make it with sound. So you could make and then zip, 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 and you just zip it up. And you do, let me just repeat it one more time. So this is how I would do it. And you might feel a little bit silly initially, but you really want to activate the symbol. So even if you feel silly, it's fine. Just carry on going. So you make that symbol over your water bowl. And then you say, Spirit of the water. And maybe you can even feel a sensation when you're speaking to Spirit. Spirit of the water, remove any negative energies that are in my body right now. Move them out of my body and absorb them into this bowl of water. And that's it. And then what you do is you hold this bowl with your hands in front of your navel. You hold this bowl of water with your hands in front of your navel, anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, or if you feel inclined to go longer, that's fine. But usually it's between 5 to 10 minutes. You hold it in front of your navel, in front of your stomach, and you just allow the energies to move. And you will notice you'll feel some sensations in your body wherever energies are starting to be pulled out. These are the negative energies that are being pulled out. So you will have said to Spirit, remove negative energies that my body no longer needs, remove them from my body, move them out, right? So you ask Spirit of the water to remove the negative energies out of you. You can even say any poisons that my body doesn't need anymore. And the water will absorb it into this bowl. Okay, and so then you sit for 5 to 10 minutes with this bowl, holding it in front of your stomach, in front of your navel. And then once that is done, then you will say, thank you, spirits of the water. Thank you for removing this negative energy from my being. I thank you. Thank you for this healing. Okay. And then once you've done that, then you can tip this water. I would recommend tipping it into your garden if you have a garden. And if you don't have a garden, then I would recommend tipping it down the sink, or down the toilet, or just down a drain. But if you have a garden, I would recommend putting it in the garden. And the reason why I say that is you want it to get back to Mother Earth. You want it to get back to nature, And if you have a pot plant, that is not connected enough to nature. So I would not recommend putting it in a pot plant, because that's very isolated. That plant is all on its own. I know it's connected to air, etc., but we're looking for this water to reach the roots, and the roots that are connected to the mycelium and connected, So we want this really to get to Mother Earth, where it can be really connected. And then what it will do, because water is intelligent, as I've been saying through this video, it will recognize, oh, there is healing. People are healing themselves. And I forgot one thing, but I've remembered it. So here's the one thing that is very important. When you are done healing and you the 5 to 10 minutes are up, you actually gather your breath and then you blow it onto the water. Okay. And then you say, water spirits, I thank you for this healing. Thank you for removing these poisons and toxins and negative energy from my being. Okay, great. So that is important. You do want to gather your breath and breathe into the water. That gives it your energy signature, okay? So, and then you tip it down the drain or put it in your garden. And that's it. That's the practice. Then you have cleansed your vessel, your body, from negative energy. And now I will quickly cover what you can do to clear the energy from your room, also using a bowl. So tip this one out first, and then put new water into the bowl, okay? Because this water, it's already got negative energy in it. So you want to get that out. And then start with a new clean water bowl. And then what you do is you do that symbol again. Okay, do you remember it? Okay, I'll give you a chance to do it first. Okay, you got it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so there we go. That's water activation. You're calling the water spirits in. And once you've made the activation symbol over the bowl of water, you will say, spirits of the water, thank you for clearing out all of the negative energy out of this room. Okay. And then what you do is you place this bowl in the room, and you can do this for all of the rooms in your house, depending how many rooms you have, 1 bowl per room. Okay, so if you have 4 rooms, then you have 4 bowls, and you do the symbol over each bowl, and you activate it, and you set the intention and ask water spirit to clean each room with each bowl. Okay, so that is a water clearing, cleansing practice, 3 of them for today. And I hope this is useful, beneficial, interesting, and I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you to remove that negative energy out of your being, out of your space, so that you can be happier, you can feel love more fully. And because love is really when okay, I won't go into that now, but I'll do that in the next video, otherwise this video gets too long. But yeah, so when you clear out the negative energy, the love remains, basically. The good energies, the happiness, the gratitude, that is what you can feel more fully then. Because otherwise it's just a lot of chaos and noise and negative and like doubt and no, let's get rid of that. We don't need it. We don't need it. And this is one of the ways so that you can get rid of that, so that you can feel good, so that you can feel good and happy and capable, optimistic, and so that you can start seeing all of those possibilities and creative ideas start showing up all of a sudden. It's like magic. I wish you a wonderful day. I hope you have a most beautiful week, and I shall speak to you soon. Bye.